Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications of whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video. We are already past round one of the qualifying matches in the Battlefield of Honor All-Star Championship. It's the new game mode that we're all taking part in at the moment, or most of us are hopefully taking part in. And in this video, I'm going to be just talking a bit about, first off, giving you some information about the All-Star Championship, and then I'm going to be reviewing the results from round one, who's scoring the highest, who's leading the community in terms of those different categories, and we'll be looking at the upcoming fixtures for this Friday. I appreciate this is going to be quite a long video reviewing all the different groups in All-Star Championship. So please do check out the timestamps down below if you just want to look at your own specific grouping area. And let's get into it. So in our events, we've got Battlefield of Honor All-Star Championship. It ends in 60 days. We've just had the qualifying match round one, as I said, which was on the 19th, Friday the 19th of May. We have round two of the qualifying on the 26th of May and the final round, round three, on the 2nd of June. About the championship, it's Battlefield of Honor All-Star Championship. All the top ranking and renowned Order of Knights will gather here. This is a grand annual competition and a great show you should never miss. In this championship, the Order of Knights will compete on the Battlefield of Honor. The Order of Knights who successfully make their way into the Battlefield of Honor All-Star Championships will have a match every Friday. Only through continuous effort will they have the chance to get the All-Star Championship trophy. Divisions. To enable more Lords to participate in this fair and grand All-Star Championship, we have divided all the provinces into 5 divisions according to their creation time and season progress. The 5 divisions are: Division 1, states 1 to 296. Division 2, states 297 to 552. Division 3 is 553 to 695. Division 4 is 696 to 840 and states 3001 to 3015. And Division 5 states 841 to 911 and 3016 to 3032. One All-Star Champion will come from each division, and the rewards for each division will be independent. Sign up is already been done. The top 512 Order of Knights in matching score within each division will be eligible to participate in the qualifying matches of the All-Star Championship. The Order of Knights then that enroll in the All-Star Championship will not be able to sign up for the regular Battlefield of Honor at the same time. They'll be able to participate in the Battlefield of Honor normally after being eliminated from Battlefield of Honor All-Star Championship. Similar to the Battlefield of Honor, the Alliance Master and the management of the Order of Knights have access to the deployment of the management. Maximum of 20 starters, 5 backup. In terms of all these other, I'm not going to go through everything individually, but in terms of the schedule, so stage 1 is the qualifying matches. Everyone's been split into 128 groups of 4 teams in each group. The matches take place every Friday for the first 3 rounds. The winners of the match get 2 points and the losing side gets 1 point. If more than one Order of Knights has the same score, they will be ranked instead by the net score of the last qualifier match. Stage 2, the knockout matches. The top 256 teams in the qualifier matches will be shortlisted for the knockout matches. So the top 2 from each group goes through. During the deployment list adjustment stage of the knockout matches, the Order of Knights can adjust their lists several times, i.e. you can change who's playing. Later, every 8 Order of Knights will be grouped together. One knockout match will be held every Friday. The specific match time will be announced during the match result announcement. After 3 rounds of knockout matches, the winner of each group will advance. The top 32 Order of Knights will enter the formal matches of the All-Star Championship. So in this final formal competition, the 32 Order of Knights will compete in 6 rounds of knockout matches. The matches will determine top 16, top 8, top 4, third place, runner-up and champion respectively. Only the final winner can get the trophy. You'll receive double the Battlefield of Honor rewards each match. There are also ranking rewards and personal rankings as well. So let's get straight into what the results were. If you click on view schedule, you can choose whichever group you want to look at. And on this bottom icon here, it currently shows the battle preview for this coming weekend, what times it is, and if you switch to completed battle, it will show you the scores. So in Group 1, last Friday, we had 1TO All-Stars defeating 136's LPK, 122,185 points to 15,497, a pretty comprehensive battle. And PET from 240 defeated 148 IND. They only picked up 899 points compared to 123,710 from PET. So pretty decisive there. This Friday, what's coming up? Well, it's the two leaders up against each other. This is going to be interesting. Who is going to take the win and probably win the group? 1TO have got some really strong players in the team. I don't know so much about 240, so we'll have to find out like next week what's going on with that grouping and who's looking like they're going to be qualifying. Into Group 2, BoH are up against MK All-Stars this weekend, and IOG Order of Knights from 155 are up against KIR from 178. Their results from last week, BoH took the win against KIR, 101,935 to 18,154. Slightly closer, but still a huge gap in the second match, which was won, as I said, by 1MK with 99,749 points compared to IOG's 21,356. I would probably expect BoH to be taking that group, if I'm honest with you, but that's the kind of old player in me. Going on to Group 3, we had E65 from 265 taking the win with 117,582 points. They were up against LST from 152. They only picked up 22,000 points. RXK also won in the other match with a huge 133,000 points against LR7, who only picked up 924 points. So those two are looking in a really strong position. They're fighting at plus 12 again this weekend. So obviously the top two seem to face up against each other in a similar format to how we see in Clash of Province. On to Group 4. We have XKE from State 120. They took the win in round 1 with 118,000 points versus 159 ETP. They only got 16,000 points. So again, a comprehensive victory. And then 7 from 78, 88,000 points against HKG's 12,000 points. So these guys are going to be facing off against each other again at plus 12 this Friday. It's going to be 7 against XKE. I would expect XKE to win that one. You can see the matching score. XKE have got a huge 223 points. Of course, players like Loki in XKE, they're going to be a very strong player in this championship. And then on to rank Group 5. We've got 4KS from my state 90, U74 from 174. We've got INK from 176, HSX from 210. 131,000 points for 4KS against HSK, who only got 3,300 points. And another decisive win as well for U74, picking up 114,000 points versus INK's 3,000 points. So the top two will be fighting against each other, and 4KS have a massive 236, 150 matching score. So they are clearly the favourites in that group as well. On to Group 6. 154 XKB and L38 from 138 are ahead at the moment. So we had XKB winning with 115,000 points against RFE from 270, who picked up just under 13,000 points. And Warrior Smurfs L38, they picked up 110,000 points against SA5 from 116, who picked up 18,000 points. A bit tighter in this group. So SA5 have got a matching score of 162,000 versus 8XB's 194,000. But that's still a reasonable gap. You'd probably expect 8XB to be winning that group. On to Group 7. We've got FHX from 114. I've played with them before in Eden. Very well organised team. They took the win against RX R from 146 with 134,000 points. That's a big total. Versus RX4's 974 points. And then Psycho Avengers from 293, they won with 123,000 points versus AWB's 16,000. Again, if we're looking at the matching scores, DXP are actually got the highest score there with 216,000 versus FHX's 172,000. I'd expect those two to be going through from this group, with DXP winning the group. On to Group 8. We have from State 46 IV6 and 1TO from State 1, along with WSD from 206 and REV from State 40. Lower scores in these battles, so 98,000 for 1TO versus 206's 31,000 points, and IV6 got 88,000 versus REV's 12,000 in Group 1 in Round 1. Round 2, obviously IV6 versus 1TO. 1TO's matching score way higher, 204,000. I'd expect them to be winning. Let's see what WSD do later in these next two rounds. Can they claw it back and get into the next stage of the game? On to Group 9, we've got RYS from 62, OPG from 121, OFG from 211, and ARS from 236. In Round 1, RYS won with 96,000 versus ARS's 28,000. Bit closer in the second match, it was OPG with 73,000 versus OFG's 39,000. And as we look into the previews for this weekend, they're playing at plus 14, this group. And RYS clearly has a massive lead with their matching score of 212,000. It's just who's going to probably come second in that group. It could be quite close. On to Group 10, if I can select the group correctly. Group 10, we've got EUK from 284, 28X from 209, TFX from 162, and 4FS from 293. These guys are playing at plus 10 on Friday, but in Round 1, EUK won with 119,000 points versus the 12,000 points of 4FS. We had 121,000 points for 28X versus TFX's 15,000, and looking at the matching scores, really close. 4FS, I'm surprised they lost. It could be a close group, I don't know. EUK looked pretty good based on the first round. Yeah, that's a very closely matched group based on those scores. On to Group 11. We had 289, 78G, SP from 140, BUF from 154, EME from 133. You can see that SPE won with 104,000 versus 13,000 points for BUF. And then Z8G had 112,000 versus 16,000 for EME. Z8G look the clear favourite in this group with a matching score of 198. On to Group 12. We've got UTWs from State 76, AEK from State 82, INM from 242, and Triple V from 169. In Round 1, we saw UTW take the win with 115,000 points versus Triple V's 14,000 points. Slightly closer in the other match, so we saw AEK take the win with 83,000 points versus IN's 20,000. This Friday, they're battling at plus 12. UTW have quite a significant advantage with a matching score of 200,000. The others are closer. You would probably... That's going to be close. I would probably expect... yeah. Who knows? That's going to be an interesting one. And obviously the two teams that won aren't playing each other in Round 2. So maybe my theory of the winners play each other is wrong. That was just a coincidence from the first couple of groups. On to Group 13. We've got VIX from 127, IND from 78. We've got Boss from State 1, G5R from 198. So some big hitters in these groups. In this group for sure. In Round 1, VIX from 127 took the win with 73,000 points against Boss's 40,000. So that was quite close. The other one was not so close. IND clearly won with 121,000 versus G5R's 8,000. Let's looking at the matching scores. Yeah, VIX 198,000 points. BoH got 183,000. This could be close to see what happens with IND and BoH. I think that's probably going to decide who comes second in the group. I'd expect VIX to win that group now. We're rolling on through the groups. On to Group 14. States 150 are represented by 6MP, 192 represented by UCP, 132 by II0, I guess, or 110, and State 237 with GWH. After round one, we saw GMP take a win with 131,000 points. Again, a big score against 237 with 3,500. UCP versus the Team 110 was a bit closer, 90,000 points for UCP. And on to round two this Friday, they're playing at plus 12. Again, you can clearly see that 6MP have got a big advantage, nearly 200,000 matching score. That's 35,000 more than UCP. Whoever wins that is probably going to win the group. I think the other two are probably playing for third place, quite frankly, in that group. On to Group 15. ROJ from State 90, XKE BoH plus 20 from State 120, so another group from the Order of Knights from 120 XKE, RGL from State 37 and SHA from 169. Round one, we saw XKE take the win against RGL, 117,000 points to 8,000, and ROJ with a huge 140,000 points. Poor old one SHA, they only got 628 points. That's a huge win for them. So XKE have the point score in the matching. They've got 191,000 versus ROJ's 165,000. So that's going to be close. Based on the results from the round two, I think the winner's going to come from this first matchup on Friday again. Again, matching score means a little bit, but also tactics, how well you play will make a big difference. On to Group 16, we've got State 229 represented by RBW. State 97 has got G97, SHO from 231 and 4UI from 176. RBW took the win with 116,000 points versus 176 is 14,000 or just under 14,000, and then G97 easily took the win with 180,000 versus the 10,000 for SHO. This Friday they're playing at plus 12. G97 are up against RBW. RBW definitely have a clear, massive advantage on the matching score with nearly 195,000 points. I would expect them to win. Who's going to come second? That could be really close, Group 16, for who's going to qualify second. We'll have to wait and see how it's looking next week. Then on to Group 17. We've got 88 represented by L8B. 219 is represented by KXQ. IOM from 119 and 48 from 256. Round 1, KQA took the win versus ION, 105,000 to 14,000. L8B 119,000 versus 13,000. L8B versus KQX this weekend. This is a really tight group as well. Those two you'd expect to be first and second, but who's going to win? It's going to be this weekend. This weekend's going to decide that group for sure. Group 18. We're on to LBA from State 90, INA from 143, HIW from State 99, and TSM from 163. Round 1, LBA took the win with 123,000 points versus TSN, who took 8,000 points. INA cruised to the win as well with 119,000 points versus HIW 6,400 points. Based on those scores, I'd say it's pretty set that LBA and INA will be going through from this group, and you'd expect LBA to win with that score as well, that matching score. On to Group 19. We saw a win for J4E from 207 with 118,000 points. They were up against SCO from 224. R3E lost, unfortunately, to EWG, who just picked them 59,000 to 38,000. That's one of the closest results we've seen. In terms of your matching scores in this Group 19, J4E have the top score with 184,000, so you would expect them to win. R3E, 150,000. didn't take the win. EWG, are they actually have one of the lowest matching scores, 121,000. So they had a great result. So that is going to be that could be an interesting group. Maybe people didn't turn up for R3A. That can only be what happened, I guess. Or yeah, just poor tactics. XK from 120 have another team in as well for their plus 14 team. LBA from State 90 are in this group as well. Oh, that could be two. That could be a nice clash. And then we've got 66 from 66 and TVB from 293. So XK took the win again in this group. Their team in this group, they had 97,000 points to TVB's 23,000. And LBA took the win 64,000 to 33,000. That was a close matchup. XK, again, really strong team. Won 192,000 points versus LBA's 158,000 matching. Will we see TVB come back into it? They've got quite a close matching score to LBA's. Again, could be close. You never know. On to Group 21. Wow, this video is going on. We have 3HS from 86, RGL from 37, 4K from 120, and their All-Star Team 2, and RMP from 148. Scores on the doors from last weekend. 3HS took the win with 97,000 versus 33,000 for RMP. Really close, super close between RGL and XKE. 48,578 to 48,466. That's the closest result we've seen by a mile. Matching scores as well. Yeah, this must be XKE's weakest team, 4K's weakest team. 116,000 matching score versus 3HS. They've got 194,000. You'd expect 3HS to be waltzing that group. And RGL against RMP, I think that could be a really close matchup based on what we saw in round 1. Group 22. 4KS All-Stars 2 from State 90. L67 from 67. FYS from 137. And FUA from 125. In round 1, you saw 4KS take the win with 122,000 points versus FUA's 10,000. And we also had L67 take the win with 109,000 points versus FYS's 23,000. This Friday, they're battling at plus 12. 4KS, the strongest team in this group, with 175,000 matching score. Will they be able to take on L67 and win the group? That will be the deciding match for the winner, definitely in this group. Onto Group 23, 154 4VR, 5LR from State 82, 21U from 210, and MON from 96. Good old MON. The results from round 1, we had 4VR taking the win with 133,000 points versus Mons 3,700, and another big result for 5LR as well, 127,000 points versus the 4,800. Pretty simple, I think. It's going to be 4VR versus 5LR for this Friday at plus 12 for who's going to win the group. These guys are going to go through. That looks pretty clear cut to me. On to Group 24. How many groups will I do, people? Blimey. We're on to plus 12 again this weekend for this group. And in this group, we've got KWR from 289, ION from 119, ILG from 144, Q56 from 156, and from round 1, KWR took the win with 102,000 points, as did IOM with 80,000 points. Clear victories for those two, and KWR looks like the clear leader in this group with a matching score of 193,000 versus the others who are around 150,000. On to Group 25. This group sees AMO from 291, 5LR from 82, G2N from 141, and SOV from 263. In round 1, AMO took a clear win, 120,000 versus 14,000, and 5LR took the win with 80,000 versus 36,000. AMO have a clear lead with their matching score at 198,000. They should waltz to the win in this group. It's just whether SOV can crawl back and get some wins, or is 5LR going to take a second place, probably a shock second place, based on the fact that they are actually the weakest matching score in that group. On to Group 26. Wins for XKA BoH plus 8 from 120. They had 120,000 points versus ARH from 286. A much closer result between the other two. OTD from 126 beat UTD from 167, 69,000 to 47,000 points. XKE have got 188,000 maximum score. You'd expect them to win the group, but let's see how Campo do this week against them. OTD Campo team, they're playing at plus 12. Can they do the upset? We'll have to wait and see. On to Group 27. IV6 from State 46, IND from 185, UME from 198, and IMS from State 1. This must be one of IMS's weaker team from, for plus 8 team. IV6 took the win with 87,000 points versus IMS's 42,000. IND also took the win with 83,000 versus 39,000. So the scores were a bit closer in this group. IV6 are the strongest team in the group with 165,000 matching score, but that could be quite a close group compared to what we've seen in the other groups so far. On to Group 28. State 255 are represented by 55X, State 210 by W2X, 129 with 4HM, and 296 by API. Round 1 results saw 55X win with 102,000 points versus API's 11,000. And then Reapers won with 98,000 versus 21,000. Reapers, 190,000 maximum score. You'd expect them to be winning this group, but you don't know. 55X must have a good system in place. Their maximum score is only 119,000. So that's going to be we'll have to keep an eye on what happens in Group 28 this Friday between those two. On to Group 29. SP from 140, MOD from 47, NIB from 26, and GMF from 126. Round 1, SPE took the win with 129,000. That's a big score. The second match was much closer, 58,000 to 50,000. MOD took the win. Maxing score, SPE is well ahead of the others, 194,000 maxing score. The others are very close, only 5,000 within it. That could be, second place could be very tight in Group 29. On to Group 30. DIC from State 55, big up my old alliance. They won their first round match. IMS from State 1 are in there, plus PHR from 40 and LTT from 124. In the first round, IMS scored 86,000 points versus 20,000 for PHR, and DIC took the win with 91,000 points versus 20,000. Matching scores, so DIC do have the leading matching score. They're 167,000 points. Hopefully they'll take the win, not that I'm biased, and they're up against IMS in their second round. That the winner of that will take the group for sure. On to Group 31. OTD from State 126, PMI from 180, EDS from 106, and 1UF from 143. Let's check out the scores. PMI won with 95,000 points versus EDS's 21,000. And a big win for OTD. Their plus 8 team scoring 129,000 points versus 1UF's 937. That's one of the biggest differentials. The matching scores, though, were pretty close, to be honest with you. In fact, EDS has the highest matching score with 150,000. OTD's is 143,000. In terms of the matching scores, that's actually the closest group we've seen. So it could be interesting, but Campo were bossing that one. Maybe they obviously have a very good strategy, I would suggest. On to Group 32. In from 242, HMB from 209, RSQ from 153, and 5LR, their third team from State 82. So In had a clear win with 126,000 points versus 5LR's 8,000, and HMB with 113,000 versus RSQ's 5,000. That seems to be sewn up already, that group. So In and HMB playing this Friday at plus 14 for first and second place. On to Group 33, U56 from 256, VOC from 263, 8C6G from 86, and 2S2 from 274. VOC took a clear one, won 180,000 points versus 21,000, and U56, even bigger win, 119,000 to 4,000. That looks like some clear two teams that are going through from Group 33, and we'll move on to Group 34. 140 U1F, Night Crawlers, UTW from State 76, S2R from 187 and SHA from 169. We had UTW from State 76 taking the win with 102,000 points. S2R only could muster 25,000 points. Whoa. U1F 159,000 points. I think that's the highest score we've seen versus SHA's 9,000 points. And these guys don't even have the highest matching score, 172,000. UTW have the highest score on paper, 184,000. That is going to be an interesting round 2 this Friday at plus 12. Into Group 35, we've got FAW from 287, 6MP from 150, UT1 from 282, and BoH's plus 2 team from State 1. FAW clearly won 130,000 versus 5,500 for BoH. That's quite surprising. The second match was closer. GMP taking the win with 86,000 points to basically 14,000 for UTI. BoH's team 155,000 versus 6MP. They've got 175,000, but I can see 6MP probably taking the win again. That BoH team might not be getting through to the next round. Into Group 6, L82 from 82, TRC from 219, BSH from 112, and is that IDF from 131. Round 1 results. Closer in this group, TRC had won with 66,000 points to BSH's 36,000, but L82 clear win 98,000 to IDF's 28,000. And the matching scores are much closer in this one, but L82 seem to be playing to their strength. I'd expect them to go through. Order of Knights, they've got to try to win that one, to hold on in and try and get a result. Group 37, my word, how many groups do we have? Group 37, another team from 4KE, 265 with FWH. So those are two big hitters. States 120 against 265 in this group. SFD from 145 and IMW from 266 make up the remaining groups. We saw 4KE take the win with just under 100,000 points versus IMW, and then FWH took the win with 68,000 versus 44,000. So pretty close there. 4KE only 127,000, so it's obviously not their main team, but they still got the win despite being the weakest. So this could be an interesting group to see who's gonna take the win. It's gonna definitely be from either FWH or 4KE based on those results. Again, strategy plays a massive part on BoH, not just about the strength of the players. On to Group 38, FYS from 137, SWD from 206, SYN from 99, and Z79 from 279. There were wins for FYS, 143,000 points, 0 points. The first 0 points we've seen from Z79. They must have forgotten they were playing. WSD, 106,000 to SYN, 17,000. And FYS looked like the strongest team, even though, well, FWSD, that could be close. We'll have to wait and see. Well, they're up against Z79 this time as well. So will Z79 turn up? That will be the main question from Group 38, but that could be quite close for who's going to take the win. Group 39, 201 represented by PYF, 293 represented by NVS, 5TK from 136 and BON from 120. And there were wins for PYF with 83,000 points and MVS with 62,000 points. Well, really close matching scores in this group. Let's see what happens this weekend. Will MVS take the win and have a strong possibility of getting through this other? I mean, wow. Yeah, 5TK, I think they're just going to be a little bit too weak. But surprising scores there considering how close their actual matching scores are. Group 40, State 127 VIX, another team, MNT from 232, VVM from 124 and DSA from 247. VIX took the win, 101,000 points. and MNT with 85,000 points. VIX 185,000 matching score. You'd expect them to go through. Will Los Bananas come back? They have, in theory, the second strongest team. They're currently bottom. Can they turn it around? On to Group 41. And we've got another 8XB team from 154, LFT from 205, ITW from 185, and ERA from 177. 8XB took the win with 113,000 points. LFT took the win as well with 90,000, and they are up against each other this weekend at plus 12. Pretty close matching scores in that group. On to Group 42. And we saw wins for HAV with 114,000 points and X3M from State 84 with 80,000 points. They're playing at plus 12. HAV look the clear stronger team in that group with 182,000 matching score. On to Group 43. And we have OME from 178, INN from 242, EHR from 106 and THM from 121 in this group. Very close first battle here. INN sneaked the win by 3,000 points over EHR, and then OME clear winner, 131,000. THN only 85 points. I can only presume they didn't turn up. EHR 177,000. They're in theory the strongest team, and they lost their first match. These other guys within only 1,000 or 2,000 difference in their matching scores. Will THN turn up is the main question. That could be an interesting group. Group 43. Group 44, 5x1 from 289, THM from 121, U58 from 258, and MOM from 112. And round one results, we saw 5x1 win with 75,000 points and THM with 67,000. So these were the closer matchups we've seen pretty much. 5x1, yeah, I'd probably expect them to take the win. They've got a higher matching score, haven't they? MON, what will they do? They've got 175,000 matching score, so in theory they are the second strongest team. That could still be a really close group in the next 2 weeks, so definitely Group 44, one to watch out for. And then into Group 45, yes, my alliance COH are currently in first place over OTW from 123, TLM from 256 and A4D from 274. We took the first win with 116,000 points versus 21,000 points, and OTW took a win with 85,000 to 22,000 points. We are fighting this plus 12 on Friday. I will be live streaming our round 2 match live against OTW. That should show the winner of the group. We have a matching score of 176,000, so we are the strongest alliance in the battle, and I'll be doing that. My account actually isn't signed in. I'll be doing that from Wargasm's account. So I'll get to actually play with probably the strongest account in our alliance. So that should be a fun battle at plus 12. Don't miss it this Friday. On to Group 46. NON from 135, 86G from 86, all the O's from 271, and GMF from 126. 86G, 106,000 points. They took the win. NON took a win with 195,000. Those two scores look pretty decisive, don't they? Those two seem to be going through. They've got the highest matching scores as well in that group. So 46 should be pretty clear cut. On to Group 50. On to 47. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. 4FS claimed the win with 92,000 points versus 4TA. And TBC currently in first place with 106,000 points against POD from State 67. 4FS are up against TBC this Friday at plus 14. Looking at the scores, in theory, 4FS should be the clear favourites for that group with 175,000 matching score, but we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. On to Group 48. By the way, how many groups are there? There are 128 groups, people. On to Group 48. We've got Berserkers, TEX, NOE, and ROP. In the first round, TEX took the win with 86,000 points versus NOE, and Berserkers cruised to victory, 100,000 versus 23,000 for ROP. Berserkers are up against Tex this weekend. Tex do have the highest matching score in that group. Let's see what they can do against the Berserkers in their battle at plus 14. On to Group 49. And we saw UTW from State 76 take the win with 99,000 points versus BoH from State 120, who had 22,000. Similar scores really in the other matchup as well. WA from State 62 with 95,000 points versus THN 13,000 points. Not huge matching scores here. UTW actually have the highest score, 161,000. Will they finish first? I think their matchup against WAO this weekend at plus 12, that will probably be the decider for the winner of the group. On to Group 50. PHR again from State 40, AMO from 291, FWA from 243, NINA for 143. More teams for these guys. Very close between AMO and FWA. AMO took the win by 63,000 to 52,000. But a clear winner in the other match, PHR with 112,000 points to INA's 4,000. It looks like the winner is going to come potentially from PHR and AMO. They are fighting each other this weekend. PHR have the strongest team in that group, 173,000 matching score. On to Group 51. D3V from State 37, 1D from State 1, DDE from 141, and G1F from 120. So some big states in here, 37, 1 and 120. D3V took the win with 82,000 points to 33,000, and 1DE 62,000 to 50,000. So a bit closer in this group. D3V though, matching score of 192,000. They should be winning that group for sure. Group 52, E65. Another of their teams, the Cool Kids, of course, they are from 265, one of the powerhouses. They have the strongest, one of the biggest scores we've seen, 134,000 to 9,000. And 9ST, they took a win, 92,000 to 23,000, 186,000 matching score for the E65 team in that group. They should cruise to a victory, I would suspect, in Group 52. On to Group 53. And there were wins for G97 and also for NOE. Neither team got over 100,000 points though, so that should be the winner of the group, decided this weekend at plus 12 when they come up against each other. The matching scores are pretty similar as well. On to Group 54, and we had a big win for DRO from State 248, 124,000 points. And YAD snuck a win, 62,000 points to 47,000 versus AIT. They're fighting at plus 14 this Friday, and yeah, DRO 187,000 matching score. You would expect them to be winning that group, but let's see how YAD do in that match. Group 55. 7D5 from State 47 took the win, 73,000 to 42,000 for XES from State 210. And similar scores again, RTS took the win with 80,000 points to DTT's 34,000 points. 7D5 have got a big matching score, 176,000 compared to RTS's 138,000. That will be an interesting matchup. RTS obviously a really efficient team they've got there considering their matching score. Who will win that group? We'll have to wait and see next week. Group 56. IMS with another team, ENO from 264, GLW from State 2 and OTD from 126. The round 1 results, IMS won with 93,000 points to 25,000 to OTD. The second match was a bit closer. ENO with 72,000 points to GLW's score, and IMS the second strongest team there, 165,000. OTD got 166,000, but they're currently last. That'll be an interesting battle as well then this weekend, I think, between ENO and IMS in Group 56. On to Group 57. Currently, MON from 96 are ahead of NOE from State 150 and 135,000 points for that MON team. That was a big score. NOE as well, 119,000 points. That group seems pretty settled already, although NOE have the top matching score of 185,000. So that is going to be a big matchup this weekend to see who's going to win that group between those two teams. On to Group 58, INQ from State 133, 21X from 221, with RXR from 146 and 3BS from 170. The results from round one, we had 97,000 points for 21X versus RXR's 31,000. And INQ cruised to victory as well, 93,000 points to 3BS's 21,000. 21X do have the highest matching score with 183,000. They are up against 3BS this weekend, so will we see wins again and then the kind of face-off between 21X and INQ in week 3? I think Group 58 looks pretty clear-cut to me. A lot of these groups seem to have one clear, strong team. Another E65 team from 265 in Group 59, and again they took the win, 106,000 points to LHM's 220,000. And in the second match, M4R from 122 picked up 90,000 points to ASX's 40,000. They had a slightly closer battle. Again, this E65 team, the strongest with a matching score of 174. On to Group 60. Wow, this could be a record long video for me that isn't a live stream. We are on to 136 from represented by 36K. G1F from State 120, one of the powerhouse states, 120. I30 from 130 and LL0 from LLL from 197. Their round one results were G1F 90,000 to L30's 21,000 points. 144,000 points for 36K. Wow. LLL didn't turn up, 0 points. Oh dear. That looks pretty clear cut, that group as well. On to Group 61. Triple V represented again in this group. EME from 133, WR from 135 and ERA from 177. Triple V dominated, 137,000 points to ERA's 1,400 points. The second battle was a bit closer. EME taking the win with 77,000 points to WR's 41,000 points. EME, the strongest team in this group with 158,000, but Triple V, really, really strong first performance. That battle this weekend is going to be very interesting in Group 61. We'll have to come back to that next week to see who has taken the victory and potentially the group win there. On to Group 62. K1R from 170 have another team in here. LSS from State 40s, TZF from 123, and W60 from 160. K1R cruised to victory, 131,000 points versus W60, and LSS also cruised to victory, 110,000 against 13,000 points. K1R are up against LSS this weekend. That could be a very close match. The matching scores are pretty close, 181,000 to 176,000. Group 63, Group 62, definitely one to keep an eye on as well. Who's going to win that matchup? On to Group 63. CIB from 76, RSQ from 153, HEX from 257, and JWM from 296. And we saw CIB take the win. CIB with a huge matching score of 190,000. They took the win in round one, 115,000 points. RSQ also won with 96,000 points. So that was pretty clear cut in that group. And they're up against each other this weekend. Will CIB take the win? They certainly are the strongest team in that group. On to Group 64. 256, 150, 122 and 76 represented in this group. CIB took... CIB hammered, absolutely hammered by UTA, 155,000 points. Whoa. They are definitely worth keeping an eye on. And B4R from 150 also took the win. CIB are up... CIB are up against APW, and B4R are up against UTE. UTE with a matching score of 185,000. You'd expect them to breeze that group. On to Group 65. And we have 161, 284, 38 and 189 represented in these groups. NWC took a very close win, 62,000 to 56,000 points. The other match, not so close. One UW 104,000 to RML 17,000 points. NUC have got the highest matching score. Let's see if they can win again. I think based on the scores we've seen, you would expect one UW and NUC to go through in that group. On to Group 66. And we've got State 274, 2S2, SIR from 140, SE from 165, and E54 from 154. And a close match here between SIR and SEA, 68,000 to 41,000, but SNS cruised to victory, 118,000 to just under 10,000 from E54. And wow, E54, matching score of 185,000. Answers on a postcard. What happened there in Group 66, people? They just aren't taking part, I guess? Must be. On to Group 67. WFT from 287, REM from 193, AK5 from 231, and AXI from 187. And we saw WFT take the win with 91,000 points to AXI's 22,000 points. And then REN from 193, 78,000 to AK5's 43,000. WFT, nearly 190,000 matching score. They should cruise to the win in Group 67. On to Group 68, UNI from State 68. ILG from 114, GMF from 126, and GX9 from State 97. Easy for you to say. GMF lost 56,000 to ILG 61,000 points, so a close match up there, but UNI cruised to victory, 95,000 to GX9's 20,000 points. Pretty close on matching scores though, so let's see how that remaining group goes. Maybe the other teams will get better attendance. On to Group 69. And we have GLW from State 2, RF4 from State 295, VDF from State 37, W1T from State 237. RF4 took the win, 73,000 points to VDF's 43,000. The other match, bigger win for GLW, 103,000 to 1WT's 29,000. VDF looking the strongest on paper, but that's not how it turns out as we've seen. So again, that should in theory be a close group, but we'll have to wait and see. On to Group 70. And we had FWH from 265, another 265 team taking the win, 81,000 points to ION's 28,000, and RU7 cruised to victory, 111,000 to 9,000 from RSQ. RSQ, yeah, they are the weakest team in that group, so probably FWH are going to win that second match and take, I would expect then it's going to be winner takes all versus RU7 in the last round of that group. On to Group 71. B81 from 106, THS from 104, G97, another of their teams, and KIM from 46. G97's All-Star 3 team lost to THS, 67,000 to 53,000, and B81 cruised to victory, 114,000 versus KIN's 8,000 points. KIN, yeah, the weakest team there based on those, so we'll have to see, but I'd expect B81 and THS to go through based on those round one scores. Into Group 72. NSA All-Stars from 84 are top. UNI from State 68 are second. WR from 135 and UTW propping up the bottom. NSA with a good win, 86,000 to 35,000, and UNI squeaked to win 64,000 to WR's 50,000 points. That was a much closer battle. Again, the matching scores are pretty close actually. UTW have the highest score. NSA second with 169,000, so that could be a really close group actually if everyone gets active in those groups. On to Group 73. IPS from 67, STU from State 1, LVM from 169, NIB from 26. Played with NIB before in Eden, and that can't be their main team, no way. STU with 84,000 points versus 39,000 for LVN. IPS cruised to victory, 120,000 to 4,000. LVN, clearly the strongest team there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe they didn't have their biggest players present. Maybe they just don't have the tactical nous. How many more groups have I got to do? 20. I've got to do 53 more groups. Wow. Okay, and this is only the first division. Whew. I'm going to be doing this all week. ETP from state 291, P3X from 169, T8V from 272, and AKT from 263 in Group 74. And we had ETP taking the win 74,000 to 48,000. And in the second match, so close, P3X 52,879 to 51,541 from T8V. One of the closest results we've seen. Wow. Yeah, ETP should be winning that group, 179,000. We go on to Group 75. Group 75, 740 from 204, UTW from 76, 3HS from 86, and REV from State 40. And the round one results, UTW with 83,000 points versus 3HS's 31,000. The second matchup, 740, clear winner, 91,000 to REV, 16,000 points. And 740 actually have the lowest matchup score. So again, that is going to be an interesting second battle at plus 12 this Friday in that group. Can the weakest team on paper be actually the best team when it comes to the battles? DXP are represented in Group 76, ranked first again, and they won their first matchup 119,000 to PET's plus 14 team of plus 8, and they only got 18,000 points. TFC, again, clear winner, 93,000 versus KDF's 28,000. So I would expect those two teams to be going through from State 76. Not massive matching scores in that group, though. Group 77, and the round one results, WTF with nearly 90,000 to W86 is 30,000 points. Slightly closer in the second matchup, KIM with 76, just under 76,000 points to MCD's 47,000 points. And W2F are the clear favourite in this group, a matching score of 186,000. On to Group 78. And we've got another CIB team, a 1DD team. CIB took the win, 151,000 points. Versus WP4, they didn't turn up, 0 points. And 1DD won 73,000 to HLO's 50,000 points. So that was a bit closer. Will WP4 turn up versus HLA, or will HLA be able to get a win? We'll have to wait and look. See, it looks like CIB are taking the win from there, though. Oh my gosh, I've just missed the wrong group. I've already done Group 78. Am I on to Group 79? Help me, people. Yes, okay. And we had round one results of 94,000 points for KWR versus TXK's 32,000, and KEH easy win 102,000 versus IMW's 20,000. KWR have a really strong team though on paper, 182,000. Let's see if they just cruise to victory, or will KEH cause an upset? It could be that they both win their matchups this weekend, and then it's a winner takes all on the last weekend of these qualifying rounds. On to Group 80, CON from State 92, BoH have another team in this group, and NWR from 277 and XJG. BoH took the win, 113,000 points versus NWR's 26,000. XJD only 9,000 points, so CON had an easy win, 103,000 points. This BoH team are up against XJD this weekend, so I'd expect CON and BoH to go through. BoH are the strongest team on paper in that group. On to Group 81. X8B represented again. SSR from 296, SHA from 169, RRH from 279. And there were wins for XKB with 78,000 points and SSR with 74,000 points. Really tight, and that's probably the closest four teams we've seen in terms of their matching scores. Let's see what happens this weekend. Can the other two teams grab a win? Will SHA and RRH get themselves back into it in round Group 82? Ironically, L82 from State 82, all the 82s. BIR from 287, 15U from 150, and BTO from 198. And L82 took the win with 89,000 to 43,000, and BIR 76,000 to 45,000. L82 171,000 matching score. You would expect them to be winning that Group 82 in Division 1. Group 83, PWA from Order of Knights 4 from State 134 are currently first position. REJ from State 17 are second. KXQ from 219 and MFT from 38 prop up the group. Some closer scores between these guys. REJ won 64,000 to KXQ's 49,000. But PWA took the win with 83,000 points to MFT's 35,000. Again, pretty close matchup scores in there. So that could be a really close group in the qualifying rounds in Group 83. On to Group 84. WXA, VDF, BMC and TGC are in this group. Pretty close match. VDF 62,000 to BMC's 57,000, but WXA cruised to victory just under 98,000 points to TGC's 25,000 points. VDF, strong team, 192,000 matching score. Surely they should be winning this group. But let's see what WXA do against them this weekend. That match is at plus 14 this Friday. On to Group 85. 73U from State 73. LAR from State 294. OTA from 90. And GMF from 126 in this group, guys. LAR took the win with just under 80,000 points. And also 73U took a win with just under 75,000 points. Pretty close. Again, let's see. That could be another close group. On to Group 86 in Division 1. RKS have another team in this group from State 90. There's also KDF from 134, TIA from 132 and EUK from 284. RKS took their win, a big win, 115,000 points to 8,000 points. And KDF also with the win, 72,000 to 28,000 points. So I would expect those two teams to be going through from Group 86. With Group 87, we've got another team from WNW 117, F&G from 161, ON7 from 197, and ANC from 161. A closer battle here. 161 took the win with 64,000 points to 197's 51,000 points. ANC only could muster 13,000 points against WNW, who took the win with nearly 84,000 points. WNW only 129 matching score, but they had a really strong win, so that could be an interesting group as well. Will the team with one of the lowest matching scores, or the lowest matching score, win the group? It could happen. On to Group 88. RKS with another team in this group with 231 from Non, GED from 88 and GOV from 192. RKS took the win again, 108,000 to GOV's 15,000, and GED only 16,000 points against Non's 93,000. That looks like a pretty clear-cut group to me as well. On to Group 89. SPW from 272, DXP from 293, IOM from 119, and N3A from State 63. DXP with the win with 76,000 points to ION's 46,000, and SPW 84,000 to N3A's 30,000. Probably no big hitters though from that group based on the matching scores that what we see there. On to Group 90. GWP from 196, F6S from 165, VDF from 37, and HEX from 257 in this group. And we saw GWP cruise to victory, 136,000 points, and FCX again, 124,000. Those two should be going through this group. GWP actually 156,000 matching score. You'd expect them to have had more based on what score they obtained in round 1. Group 93, INA from State 143, TTW from 103, MGZ from 112, and G1F from 120 in this group. INA cruised to victory, 122,000, and TTW 97,000 points as well. INA, you would expect them to win that group, I think, based on that matching score and the score they got in their round 1 matchup. Into Group 92, we're getting close to Group 100 people. Unicorn Gang from TAR in 172, Z8G from 289, iOS from 67, and NON from 135 in this group. Some old names there. None were beaten with only 29,000 points to TAR's 92,000. The other matchup much closer. Z8G with 63,000 points to iOS's 53,000. Z8G in theory should be the clear victor in that group. But let's see what happens this weekend. On to Group 93. They're playing at plus 14. And at plus 18 this Friday, we will see Group 93 battling it out. FAW from 287, YAD from 66, IMZ from 172, and HAV from 137. FAW, 107,000 points, clear winner there, but the other second battle was closer. YAD, 60,000 points to IMZ's 53,000. FAW, 185,000 matching score. They should cruise to victory in Group 93, and they could be a difficult opponent in the next stage of the competition. On to Group 94. FHX are represented again in this group. MNT took the win against GUI, 78,000 to 38,000. FHS won 91,000 to 24,000 points. And yeah, you probably expect FHX to win that group as well, based on the results and their matching strength from what we've seen there. KRU from 165 in Group 95 are joined by VHL from 128, UTD from 167, and ASI from 218. The results from round one: KRU scored 87,000 points to ASI's 28,000, and VHL won a closer matchup, 58,000 to United's 46,000. This weekend, ASI up against VHL and KRU are up against UTD. The matching scores are pretty close in that group. Will it finish closer than what it currently is? Let's have to wait and see. On to Group 96, OTA from 90, PGK from 125, UTC from 151, SSR from 296. In this group, and OTA clearly won with 112,000 points. The second match was closer, PGK defeating UTC 65,000 to just under 50,000 points. OTA should be winning that 170,000 matching score. On to Group 97. Wow, I need half a day to just do all the results from these qualifying matches. So, VAX Dream Team from 66, TEX from State 265, TIA from 132, and IRW from 97 are represented in this group. And VAX with a clear win, 110,000 over IRW. And then TEX from 265, another 265 team winning 98,000 to 27,000 points. Let's see what happens this weekend. State 66 versus 265. That could be a close matchup. On to Group 98. We've got MOP from 144, T5W from 38, SFG from 199, and CMI from 246. A clear win for MOP, 112,000 points. Much closer. One of the closest results we've seen. The GB squad from T5W won by 57,000 points to 54,000 points. Only 2,500 points in it. The matching scores are very close as well. Group 98 could be one of the closer qualifying groups in the competition. On to Group 99. We've got 74D, D3, another D3V team, EWG from 239 and WHO from 104. And 74D won 77,000 to 31,000, and D3V, easy for you to say again, 83,000 points to EWG's 40,000. Again, based on those scores, you probably expect the top two teams to go through. They are up against each other this weekend. Will D3V leapfrog into first place? I would probably predict they're going to. We're on to Group 100, people. Oh, my word. Another 265 Alliance XJD are leading this group as well. 265, what a powerhouse. They've got 86,000 points XJD in round one against EHR from 106, who mustered 28,000 points. And then GED took the win, 82,000 to GEG's 56,000 points. Again, this 265 team, 183,000 matching score. You'd expect them to win the group, but they are up against GED this weekend. Let's see what they do. On to Group 101. HXP from 133, MCD from 104, MOS from 224, and ADS from 133. MCD took the win with 88,000 points to MOS's 32,000. And then we saw HXP take the win, 107 to 15,900 for ADS. I think we're pretty sure what the two winners are going to be from that group. Even though MOS actually have the highest matching score, funnily enough. Can they do better in the next two rounds? On to Group 102, an old name from the game, TUS from State 2 are leading, and they are joined by NWR on 2 points from State 277, ADS with 1 point from State 133, and BDO propping up the group from State 66. Round 1 results, TUS 131,000 points, clear win. NWR took 84,000. And you look at the TUS, they're the strongest team. I'd expect them to win that group for sure. On to Group 103. Wow. Oh, I've got it wrong. Group 103, people. We're almost there. We have 23V from 230, AKZ from 112, 7CB from 247, and LNJ from 289. 23V easy winners, 113,000 points to LNJ's 17,000. The second matchup a bit closer, AKZ 165,000 to 7CB's 47,000 points. VN 181,000 matching score. You should expect them to win that group easily. Could they be one to watch in the tournament? 104. RBK from State 240, LVM from State 169, HXP with another team from 133, and VOG from 215. Round 1 results for this group, and RBK with an easy win, 105,000 points to VOG's 22,000. The second match a bit closer, LVN won 59,000 to HXP's 45,000. Can HXP get a win on the board versus VOG this weekend? I would expect to see that. RBK matching score of 141,000. Let's see how they fare against LVN, who are technically the strongest the strongest team in Group 104. On to Group 105 now. BIR from 287, VHI from 127, UTC from 151, and 21X from 221. Round 1 results. BIR cruising to victory, 132,000 points. VHI bit closer. They just got just under 70,000 points versus UTC, who picked up 38,000 points. VIR should be cruising to victory in that group based on the matching scores. On to Group 106. Oh my god. Group 106. All right, come on. 1MK from 203, MNT from State 232, and L92 from 92 are joined by ROJ from State 90. They're propping up the group. 1MK won 93,000 points to ROJ's 20,000. MNT 74,000 to L92's 53,000. And then 1MK are up against MNT this weekend. 1MK looked the clear winner of that group, just under 180,000 matching score. On to Group 107. L82's Order of Knights 2 from State 82, DYS from 192, TOW from 124, and KIM from 157. L82, easy win, 124,000 points, and DYS also a decisive victory, 106,000 to TOW's 21,000. So the two big hitters up against each other this weekend. They've got similar matching scores. That could be tight, that battle, but KIN actually need to turn up this weekend for their second round match. 108, SF9 from 199, TVB from 293, W2D from 241, and SDG from 193. Your results: SF9 107 to SDG 17,000, and TVV 85,000 to W2D's 34,000. SFB 150,000 matching score. That could be a close group still. Let's see how it goes. On to Group 109. C's G2M from 141, JWM from 296, BSH from 112, and VAI from 104 in this group. G2N with a clear win, 100,000 points versus VAI's 21,000. Slightly closer, but not much. JWM won with 89,000 versus BSH's 34,000 points. BSH, very strong team on paper, 180,000 matching score, but they didn't perform the goods at the weekend. So let's see how G2N, 143,000 points. Let's see how they fare against JWM this weekend. That could be one to watch. JWM, of course, from state 296, the youngest state in this group. And group 10, BIR from 287, BOA from 114, ROM from 186, and W86 from 86. Of course, W86, one of the older powerhouses back in the day in the game. And BIR had a clear win with 120,000 points, while BOA, again, also cruised to victory, 93,000 points. That should be easy. BIR, 180,000 matching score. Could they be another team to watch later on in the championship? Let's find out. L96 from State 1 are leading in Group 111 aptly. And IV6 from 46 are second. The Wolves from 258 and PYF from 201 are currently lagging behind L96, 112,000 to 8,000 points. And IV6, 99,000 to 13,000. That group looks pretty locked up already, even though PYF actually the second highest matching score. So again, maybe that was an attendance issue for that group, or that team, sorry. On to Group 112, and we've got DMK from 95, TRC from 219, G48 from 19, and UTW from State 76. DMK, nice win, 108,000 points to UTW 6,000, and TRC, closer battle, 72,000 to G48, 52,000. Matching scores not huge. I don't think we're going to see someone from 112 go deep into the tournament with those matching scores once they come up against the big boys. Into Group 113, EME from 133, HOA from 132, T5W from 38, and SAV from State 40. And there was a clear win for EME, 111,000 points versus SAV's 12,000. And also another clear win for HOA, 94,000 to T5W's 18,000 points. So again, that looks pretty set, that group, for the top two teams based on those scores. Into Group 114, 161 from 1UW, SPE from 140, L82 from 82, and ERE from 177. Massive win for 1UW, 139,000 points to 810 from ERA. And then SPE also with a clear win, 97,000 against L82's 34,000. I think that group is pretty much already wrapped up as well for those two teams. Yeah, I would expect 1UW to beat L82 this weekend. So, on to Group 115. WT1 from 201. TSM from 163, CPR from 277, and EPX from 185. There was a big win for WT1, 101,000 points to EPX's 18,000 points, and another clear win as well for 163, 92,000 to 31,000. TSN have got 176,000 matching score. So, yeah, how they get on against WT1 in the final match of the qualifying, that will probably decide who wins this group. On paper, they could go quite far, but let's see how TSN do. Into Group 116, 7D5 from 47, 28S from 288, BBT from 84, and LVM from 169. Round 1 results, well, 170,000 to 3,000 for 7D5. Clear win against LVN. 28S picked up the victory, 76,000 to BBT's 44,000. That's a bit closer. 7D5 look like they're going to be the clear winner in that group. Again, could be one to watch potentially, people. On to Group 117. INA from 143, HEX from 257, KOH from 164, and 11X from 240. Slightly closer matchups. INA won with 90,000 points to 11X's 28,000, HEX 79,000 to KOH's 38,000. HEX 164,000 matching score, the strongest team in this group. But is that going to be strong enough to progress far in the tournament? We'll have to wait and see. UWK from 152 are in Group 18, along with CXF from 265. Another 265 Alliance have won their first matchup. There's also TZF from 204 and T5W from 38 in this group. And it was close, actually. CXF 59,000 to TZS 56,000, but UWK clear win 81,000 to T5W's 28,000. Not massive differences. CXF actually do have a very strong matching score, so they're going to have to look at their tactics for the next game. They probably got to up their match play to win this group. It could be tight. Group 119 in Division 1, AED from 270, FRI from 121 and G48 from 19, along with OTA from 90. Clear win for AED, 99,000 to 26,000, and FRI 66,000 to G48's 42,000. AED, the strongest team in that group by a mile, so I would expect them to be winning. On to Group 120. And there's SA5 from 116, ZWE from 117, 1RK from 180, and FWH from 265. 265 team actually lost. Amazing. Well, that's because no one turned up by the looks of it. SA5 clues to victory, 139,000 to 0, and ZW 106,000 to 16,000 for 1RK. So that group looks sewn up already. On to, let's have a quick look actually at SA5's. Wow, only 164,000 matching score. FWH, they've actually got a strong matching score, but maybe they're just not turning up. Well, they're obviously not turning up. On to Group 121 in Division 1. F65 from 165, WAU from 290, BLU from 117, and T4E from 272. Clear wins for F6S, 104,000 to 19,000, and WAU 99,000 to 20,000. That group looks sewn up already. No big hitters in that group either, so I can't see anyone from that group going deep into the competition. Into Group 122, KNA from 264, BTO from 198, LSS from 40, and L42 from 142. Very, very close matches in this group though, guys, from states. Wow. BTO snuck a win, 67,555 to LSS's 67,070. Wow, that was super close. And the other match as well, pretty close as well. KNA 60,583 to L42's 48,000. And the matching scores all within 19,000 of each other. So 122 could be a really tight group depending on how the results go this weekend. Into Group 123, there's VOT from 271, FZP from 207, 5X1 from 289, and 23T from 230. Again, a close result for F7P winning by 78,000 points to FX1's 50,000. The second matchup, much clearer, VOT 93,000. But again, no big hitters really in that group. So on we go to 124 with AHM from 96, L96 from State 1, 4VR from 154, and WIA from 215. Again, clear win for AHN, 110,000 to WIA's 20,000, and L96, 86,000 to 4VR's 36,000 points. 4VR, actually the strongest team on paper, 177,000. So we'll have to see what happens. Will they turn up for rounds 2 and 3 and make a fight of it? On to Group 125. FNL from State 130, AMO from 291, WFT from 287, and ODW from 211. And the round 1 results were FNL won by 96,000 to ODW's 28,000. The other match much closer. AMO scraped past 59,000 to 52,000. FNL, the clear strongest team there with 170,000 matching score. So they are most likely going to win that group. On to Group 126. R3E from 116, E54 from 154, B81 from 106, and VAX from 66 in this group. And again, another very, very, very close match. Wow. E54, 54,110 to B81's 54,039. Wow, that is sickening, isn't it? That was so close. 116, bigger result for them. 76,000 to VX is 25,000. E54, 190 on the matching score. On paper, one of the strongest teams in the competition. We'll have to see how they fare later in the tournament. But yeah, they should be cruising that group. Group 127X, AXB from 154, W96 from 196, VDS from 103, and BON from 120. And the scores on the doors, 2 clear wins for AXB and W96. I would expect those guys to be going through that group, but I wouldn't see them going deep in the competition based on those scores. So finally, guys, an hour and 25 minutes into the video, we've reached group 128, and EUK from 284 are ahead of GX9 from 97, PEO from 26, and WKR from 203. Close results again. GX9 winning by 56,000 to PEO's 54,000, and EUK 74,000 to WKR's 48,000. So this could be a really close group. POE 129,000 matching score. They're really putting up a good fight, and they will be fighting in round 2 at plus 14 this weekend. Those are the results from Division 1's qualifying round 1. Well done to those of you that have managed to make it this far. Hopefully you were interested just to see your results in your group and see where you're placed and the strength. Hopefully you've followed the timestamps and not lasted this long, so I wouldn't expect anyone to watch me for an hour and 26 minutes. Let's just have a look at the championship rewards for the surprise. Let's just have a look at the data so far. So personal points, the dudes. This player from the dudes has got the top personal points with 218,000, state 88. Amalin from 266 is on 194,000, and Fire Dragonblade is third from WKR and 203 with 167,000. The kill score, similar. Those three are the top 3. Capturing score, you've got 007 Bond from FYS, Mesa from VAX, and My Fun Khan from 143 are in the top 3 for capturing. Escorting, now of course a lot of people will get 15,000 on the escorting score because it's 5,000 each time, 3 times in a battle. But the top 3, we see Mr. Neuro Khan, MRC ER Ilopo, I guess, from 76, and Faith from 4K in 120. They're currently the top 3. And gathering scores, there's Zumurd from 1DD in state 176, 6,400 points on the gathering score. Plus you've got Ragnar Shedder from HAV 137 and Trioth with 62,000 as well from GD in 88. So those are the top scorers in the championship data so far. That relates to these surprise rewards. So highest personal points will get 50 super recruitment tickets and all these other gifts. Highest killing score, highest capturing score, all the highest scores that we just touched on will get 50 super recruitment tickets, some Orichalcum and some other bits, other goodies. The Tainted Touch Champion, 100 super recruitment tickets, 2,000 Orichalcum, awarded to the Lord, suffering the highest losses from betting in the All-Star Championship. So even if you lose, you can win in this championship. There we go, guys. That is my Division 1 recap of the qualifying match round 1. Thank you so much for watching. I'd be interested to hear your comments. Are you happy for me to go through every individual match, every individual division like this? I will try and do divisions 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the coming days. It's a lot of recording though to get all these matchups. There's hundreds and hundreds of obviously matchups going on in this tournament throughout the competition, the whole of the gaming community. If you have liked this video, please do click on that like, and if you could share this video and my channel in your Alliance chat, Prominence chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be very much appreciated. Keep watching. Good luck to all of you playing this week on Friday in All-Star Championship, and don't forget I am live streaming our Battle of Honor All-Star Round 2 qualifying match at plus 12 this Friday, the 26th of May. So tune in to my channel to check that out. There'll be a link going up tomorrow for that live stream. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.